Welcome to the full moon meditation for July 23rd, 2021. It will be full at 9:36 in the evening on that day. And so my name is Martin Dowman.
And I'm Sunny Dowman. We are here at the Light Center, and we're doing this, as always, in conjunction with Unity of Lawrence. And we'll be posting this on our YouTube page as well as theirs. So we invite you to join along and join in and meditate with us at the full moon.
As you can tell, we're outside at the Light Center and just giving you a different background behind here. So just enjoy the sounds that come along. We have no idea if the chickens or anybody else comes and visits us, so that's okay. And so in this process, what I'd like to begin with is to take us into going deeper type meditation, and then we'll pass it off to Sunny to do the next piece.
Yeah, and actually before that, we're going to talk about the astrology of the time period. This new moon that's taking place on the 23rd is the first of two full moons in Aquarius this year. This is pretty unusual. Usually you just have one full moon per sign, but because this one is happening in such early degrees of Aquarius, by the time the next one rolls around, the sun will still be in Leo and the moon will be in Aquarius for a second round. So we may actually be kind of experiencing a phase 1 and a phase 2 of some of the same issues. Leo and Aquarius. Leo is where the sun is, Aquarius is where the moon is. They share a commonality in that they are both concerned with, it's a dichotomy a little bit. They're both concerned with self, but self as an individual, as in Leo, or self as a part of a greater collective, as in Aquarius. And so both of these aspects will be playing in this time. And so what we may find ourselves doing is questioning, like, do I need to do the thing that is right for me? Do I need to do the thing that is right for the group? Can those both happen together? And or do I really need to stand aside and stand in firmness for, stand up for myself? In addition, the planets Jupiter and Venus are opposite one another in the chart, and so there's going to be some maybe tension and maybe just a little bit of, I don't know, what do I do, which do I choose? But none of the choices are generally bad with Jupiter and Venus. They're both here to support us, and this can be expansion in terms of relationships or just self-care, things like that. Jupiter is also opposing Mars, and so this can be a little more tense. It's going to be a little more, can be energetic, or it can be a little bit fraught. And so, we just want to play in those energies. It's generally a nice transit. We're not seeing a lot that's really difficult. So yay. So let's breathe into that and meditate with that today.
Thank you. And so, as we begin this process of going deeper, we'll just close our eyes if you feel comfortable with that, and allow the chair or the space that you are in to support you and to feel the connection with the ground. And so let's take a deep breath into our belly and release. Let's do that once again. And as we begin to go deeper into this process, we acknowledge the earth and we open ourselves to the grounding that we are in at this moment. And in the process of that grounding, we begin by connecting to the earth with our feet, being able to feel the connection as if it were roots coming out of the bottoms of our feet and connecting in with the earth, and feeling the flow of energy that the earth provides for us. And in this process, we also acknowledge that we are grounded in this moment, in this time, and actually all the time. And so as we bring that energy up from the earth, we will bring it up through our legs and all the way to the base of the spine at the root chakra. And the root chakra is going to provide for us that connection directly with the ground, with the earth, that we are grounded in this process. This chakra is red, and we find ourselves knowing that solid landing spot that we are on at this moment. And then as we are ready with that, we move up to the Sacral Chakra, that is where the creation, the possibilities, our desires and ideas come from in this process. We feel the birth of a possibility that comes to us from this place. Its color is orange, and it is a powerful source. And from this level, we move up to the solar plexus, where we have that gut feeling, that connection with wisdom, the awareness that we have, that we are strong within us in that process, and that we are conscious of what it is that's going on for us. This is where that gut instinct comes from. The color is yellow. And as we acknowledge this process, we feel the energy of this chakra giving us strength. And now as we move up to the heart chakra, we acknowledge the depth of caring, of connection, of compassion. The color is blue, and this is the point of connection that we have with others in that process. The vibration of this chakra is very powerful and reaches out and connects with others, as well as giving us that compassion as well. So now we move up to the heart chakra. The heart chakra is where our connection with compassion, with our connection from our hearts, the vibration of which is very powerful and can be felt when you're near to others. It is green, and we acknowledge this power and its connection for us in holding compassion, not only for others but for ourselves. And from here we move to the throat chakra, and it is blue. And we acknowledge that at the throat chakra, we are speaking our truth. It is the point where we share with others, but also share with ourselves our voice. that voice within and the voice which we use to connect with other people. And we acknowledge that and feel the power that our voice has. From there we move to the third eye, where we see from the view of the truth, the connection with others. And now we move up to the third eye, which color is indigo, and it is our vision or seeing from the divine, from that connection of the truth that is in all that we see. We know that all that we see is in divine order and connection, and we also acknowledge and see others in their highest good, in the healing process, in the connection of being divine beings. And then we move to the crown chakra at the very top of the head. The crown chakra is the connection with the divine. It is that power, that connection of motion and energy, that the divine flows through us. And so as this is happening, it is either white or purple, depending upon different opinions. But in whichever color it is for you, feel the energy of the divine with you, in you, flowing through you. And so now I invite you to connect in with the ancestors, with the divine, with the masters, with our guides, our angels. And in inviting all of that in, we acknowledge that we are surrounded by this powerful energy, holding sacred space for us in this time, knowing that as we bring ourselves to this full moon energy, we are full of ourselves, we are full and complete. We acknowledge that, and we awaken to the process that has brought us to this point, and how that is now going to be released as we move forward into this next cycle with the moon. I invite you to breathe in from the crown chakra right down to the heart, and then hold that, and then we'll release that into the ground as we exhale. So we'll breathe in from above, hold it at the heart, and release into the ground. Let's do that one more time. Coming in and release.
And we take a moment to acknowledge the native lands on which we stand, on which we live. The land where I currently am was once the land of the Kansa, and I want for us to acknowledge that those ancestors, those native indigenous people who once roamed these lands, their energies are still here, and they deserve to be acknowledged. And as I sit here in my comfortable chair with the warm air and the sound of birds, I express and feel gratitude for the peace that I am able to access as I meditate. And I invite all of us to breathe into that, breathing in and release. Shutting out the turmoil of the world, shutting out the events of the day, and all of the distractions that life holds for us. We center in and focus our attention on where we are right now, in this moment, right now. Knowing that there are other things we can do later and things that need to be done, but for right now we can just put those aside and inhabit this moment and this moment only. I invite you to join with me. We're going to go on a little trip, a little journey. And so I invite you to envision your spot, the spot where you would like to be right now. Are you in a hammock in the mountains? Are you at the ocean? Where would you like to envision? Whatever that is, I would like you to place yourself there right now. Envision yourself stretched out on the ground in a comfortable temperature, a bug-free zone, enjoying the sun shining on your skin, or the wind, or whatever you're envisioning right now. Take a moment and notice 5 things that you can see with your inner eye in your beautiful, serene spot. And as you continue breathing, take a moment and notice 4 things that you can hear. Maybe birds, or the ocean, or the breeze. And then in your mind's eye, envision yourself reaching out and touching 3 things in your beautiful spot. And going further, let's envision 2 things that we might be able to smell, hopefully pleasant smells. And as we breathe fully into this experience, we recognize that we are an entity whole and unique. There is no one in the world like us. We are the only one. And yet we are a part of the greater collective of all of humanity. We are a part of this planet. We have a home here. We belong here. Our bodies are fully made up of the things that we consume from our environment, the plants that grow, the animals that grow if you eat animals, and recognizing that we use and we are fully a part of this environment. We are not separate from, we are one with the place where we live. And we tap ourselves into that energy flow that Martin talked about as we brought that energy up through those roots and up through our chakras. And we are a part of that energy flow. And I invite us to think about in what ways we contribute to that, to our world. We contribute love and energy with our friends and our families. We contribute by the work that we do to support others. We are a part of the food cycle of the planet. We eat and eventually become a part of that cycle. We are thoroughly enmeshed in this planet, in this world. And then as we're here lying or sitting in our beautiful spot that we have in our mind's eye, we may have been envisioning ourselves alone in that spot. No other people, maybe even no other animals, just us and the natural world. And of course we know that that's not really the way it is it? So I would invite us to stay seated, and invite others to join us in a circle. You can invite in anyone you wish. You can invite in your friends, your family, those on the planet or those who have left. Envision them seated with you in a big circle. And your eyes go from face to face to face, sending your love and appreciation and receiving their love and appreciation. And let's see if we can make that circle bigger and invite others to our circle. Maybe acquaintances, people that we just sort of know but aren't necessarily close to. Maybe strangers. Maybe envision the people that you see at the grocery store, or when you're at church, or people that you interact with online or at work. Allow them to come sit in your circle too. Moving your gaze from face to face, bathing them in your regard and your appreciation for their humanity and for their attention in your circle. And continuing to breathe, I would invite you to widen your circle even farther. Bring in people who aren't necessarily people that you would spend time with in the real world, but people who, like you, are human like you, are seeking a life for themselves, like you, want to be happy. And even if they are people that we might disagree with or might find disagreeable, we recognize that we can take this time in our circle and make space for them and regard them and think of them as beings just like us who want to be happy, who want to be well, who want to be safe. And we know that we have that in common. And so even though this might be a little bit of a challenge, we're going to keep breathing and we're going to let them enter into our circle. And we allow our eyes to go from face to face to face, recognizing the common humanity in all of us. And I would invite us to, once again, expand that circle even bigger. We are going to have a huge circle by the time this is over. I would like to invite into my circle animal life and plant life that I share this planet with. Recognizing, of course, that now we're not talking about humanity per se, but we are talking about a shared experience on this planet. We share so much with the animal kingdom, with the plant kingdom, even with those insects. And so I would invite us to regard each of those as we allow them into our circle and welcome them into the circle with us. They are just as much a part of this experience of planet Earth as we are. And so around my circle I'm seeing the bumblebees and the raccoons and the possums and the chickens and the trees and the guinea hens and even the mosquitoes. Like me, they all have a right to be here. And when we think about the entirety of this circle, it begins to look like the entirety of the planet Earth. Every life form, whether it be human or animal or plant, we are all on this Earth ship together. What I do affects the rest of the creatures on the Earth ship. And what they do affects me. I forgot to include cicadas in my circle. They're speaking up. The success of our journey through the universe, through the solar system, through time and space, depends on every being in this circle. We can't just take out one type of being and expect that the course will continue unabated. We need each other. We need everything. Yes, even the mosquitoes. And so I bow to the rest of the beings in my circle, human, animal, plant, acknowledging my place within them, and that I am neither superior to nor inferior to any of them. It is life. And I'm grateful for this experience. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for my life and the lives of each individual in my circle. And so in my space, in my beautiful spot that I have envisioned in my mind, which is now full of life, I place my palms together in my mind and regard each of these creatures and thank them for their presence in our shared journey. And I release them. And I watch them dissolve back into the places from whence they were summoned until I am once again alone in my beautiful spot, knowing that I am not alone. And so I am inviting Martin to join in with this, and he is going to lead us in some toning as we ground this experience with vibrations of sound.
And so in the process of toning, we are going to bring the full moon energy, the full tone of ourselves in vibration with this process. We will be exciting the energies around us, through us, and with the earth, and with the moon in this process. And so for us to begin, we acknowledge that we are toning from deep within us the energies that will excite molecules that shift and change things. And so as we begin, we make sure to take a deep breath into our belly, and then we will make a tone that is our own in that process. And we'll do this 3 times, and each time you can choose what that what that vibration is to you, what it is for you in this process. And so we begin with the first. A deep breath into the belly. And again, we breathe in. And once more, breathing in. We release this vibration out into the universe, connecting with the animals, with the earth, with the rocks and the trees, with all things that we can see and can't see. In that vibration, we open ourselves to the possibilities of new connection, of great learning, of awakening. And we also acknowledge the full moon in this energy, vibrating with the light that it reflects from the sun. And we feel whole and complete in this moment. And as the animals are speaking with their voice in connection, we invite you to come back to this time, this place. Maybe wiggle your toes or wiggle your hands or fingers. Adjust your shoulders. Come back whole and complete to this moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and join us. It is truly a joy to be with you in this time and in this process. And so, what about our next one?
The next one is a new moon, and it's going to be taking place on August 8th. So, it's about 2 weeks from now, like clockwork. So, we will be seeing you then. We will be posting that a day or so before the 8th. If you are enjoying the astrology and you want to find out more about your own chart and the way that the energies of these transiting planets are affecting you, I would invite you to reach out and connect with me. You can go to my website at sunnysastrology.com, shoot me a message, and we will set up a time and place to talk, whether in person or over the web. So I think that's it. I think that's a wrap.
And so we say,
Namaste.
Namaste.